Hello dear students, as you all know we are doing chapter number 4, moving charges and magnetism. In the last video lecture we have studied that if a current carrying wire is kept in a magnetic field, then it experiences a force. Today we'll go on with this topic, but this time there will be more than one wire. We'll have 2, 3 more or whatever. Okay, let me give you a quick revision what we have studied. I have told you if there is a magnetic field, and the current carrying wire is kept in that magnetic field. Magnetic field is represented by cross. It simply means the direction of magnetic field is perpendicular inward, right? A current carrying wire is kept like this. So it will experience a force which magnitude is given by F is equal to I L B sin theta, or in vector form it will be, it was F L vector cross B vector. Okay. Where will be the direction of force? Where will be the direction of force? For that, two rules are there. One is right hand palm rule. You have to extend the thumb in the direction of current. On this finger will be direction of the magnetic field. Palm face is indicated in this direction. The force will be in this direction. You can apply Fleming left hand rule also, that you have studied in class 10th. In the left hand rule, this finger in the direction of magnetic field, this finger in the direction of current, then force is in the extended direction, in this direction. I hope you have studied in class 10th. Okay, this finger in the direction of magnetic field B, this is in the direction of current I, then this will be the direction of your force, right? FBI. Is it clear? So this is how this is what we have studied in the last lecture. Let us discuss, if two parallel wires are there, and they are carrying a current I1 and I2 in the same direction, then what will happen? Magnetic field of one will be found at this point, at every point of I2, and magnetic field of I2 is the second wire, will be found on the magnetic field at the each point of I1. So basically this wire exerts a force on this wire because of its magnetic influence there, and this wire exerts a force on this wire because of its magnetic influence. So this is what we have to study, what is the amount of force the wires are experiencing. So basically today's topic is force between two parallel current carrying straight wires. This is the topic for today. Okay. Now let us start. Let us try to understand. Let us analyze the direction of magnetic field. Suppose due to first wire I am looking for the magnetic field at the location of wire at second. So if this distance is A, or let it be D. Okay. Let me make the distance over here. This distance is D. So now what happens if I take a radius of D and draw a circle? So basically this circle will represent the magnetic field around this wire. And how this magnetic field will be? Direction of current is in this direction, extended thumb, and rest of the fingers towards the point where the magnetic field is to be determined. So at this very point, the magnetic field will be towards this direction. Say I have put a cross over there so that you can understand the direction of magnetic field is perpendicular inward. Okay, the side just like this. Current is in this direction, all this finger towards the point where the magnetic field has to be calculated. It is palm face is inward. So basically magnetic field is inward. Okay. Now at each point of the wire, I2 is the, suppose let me name the wire. This is one wire, this is two wire. So at each of the point of the second wire, there will be a magnetic field, and magnetic field will be towards inward. What will be the value of that magnetic field? The magnetic field is given by mu naught I1 upon 2 pi d. This is the formula for the magnetic field due to a straight wire. Now, the force experienced by the second wire, force experienced by wire 2, F21, force on 2 due to 1, is equal to current in the wire I2, magnetic length of the wire, say L2, magnetic field of the wire. What is the magnetic field acting over there? B1. And lastly, sine. What is the direction? What is the angle between current and the magnetic field? Magnetic field is perpendicular inward and current is upward. So basically they are making 90-degree angle. So here it will be sine 90. Value of sine 90 is 1. So F21 is going to be I2 L2. In place of B1 we can write B1 I1 upon 2 pi d. Okay. L2 is transferred to this side. So F21 upon L2 is equal to, let us arrange it, mu naught I1 I2 upon 2 pi d. Equation number 1. This expression tells this is the force per unit length on the second wire. Force per unit length on the second wire. Just say F21 upon L2, force upon length. That is force per unit length. Same goes with I1 also. If you want to calculate for the I1, how we can? So first of all we have to know what is the magnetic field acting over here. For that purpose, again we have to draw a circle of same radius d. Is it clear? Now at this point, what is the direction of magnetic field? At this point, what is the direction of magnetic field? Extended thumb is towards this current, the rest of the fingers towards the point where the magnetic field has to be calculated. Palm faces outward. Magnetic field will be outward. So here the direction of magnetic field will be outward. Okay, this magnetic field is named as B2. Okay, so direction of magnetic field at the location of the wire 1 means wire 1 is perpendicular outward. Okay, now what will be the magnetic field and what will be the value of B2? So B2 will be given as mu naught I2 because of this current, this magnetic field is because of this current, upon 2 pi d. Okay, now just try to understand. Force experienced by wire 1 will be force experienced by 1 given by F12, force on 1 due to 2. Okay, force on 1 due to 2, and it is given by current. What is current flowing in the wire 1? I1. What is its length? L1. What is the magnetic field acting over it? It is B2. Sine 90 degree. Sine 90 value is 1. Why it is 90 degree? Because current is upward and magnetic field is perpendicular outward. That's why it is 90 degree. Now value of sine 90 is 1. Value of B2 let us put. So if we are going to have F12 is equal to I1 L1. The value of B2 is mu naught I2 upon 2 pi d. L1 is transferred to this side. We are going to have F12 upon L1 is equal to mu naught I1 I2 upon 2 pi d. So this is the force acting per unit length of the wire 1. Okay, this is what? This is force per unit length acting on the wire 1. Okay, and from 1 and 2 what we can see? We can see that the force per unit length acting on both wire is same. Okay, force per unit length of the wire acting on both the wire is same. Okay, so basically what we can say, if we are considering force per unit length, then this force is mutual. Basically this force is mutual attraction or mutual repulsion. Let us see. First of all, let us consider this wire 2. Direction of magnetic field is perpendicular inward. Direction of current is upward. If we apply the rule, thumb in the direction of current and rest of the fingers in the direction of magnetic field, where the palm face indicating? Palm face is indicating towards the side. So basically that F21 will be in this direction. Okay. Similarly, here the magnetic field is outward and thumb should be in the direction of current. So this will be the arrangement. Thumb in the direction of current and all these fingers towards the magnetic field. Magnetic field is perpendicular outward, so magnetic field is towards this one, where the palm face is indicating this direction. The direction of force on the wire 1 is in this direction. So as you can see, this force is of mutual. These forces are mutual attractive. Okay, these forces are mutual attractive, and more specifically I should write force per unit length. Okay, force per unit length, because force per unit length we have seen that it is equal. Not forces are equal. Force will depend on the length of the wire, but if we calculate force per unit length, it will be same. Is it clear? Now suppose in the second wire, if the direction of current is reversed, then what will happen? In that case, B2 will be inward direction and direction of current is in downward. Then what will happen? Let me remove all this and then let us discuss what are the changes we are going to have in that case. What I am telling is, suppose two wires are there, both wires are parallel to each other. Okay, in one wire current is going upward, in another wire current is going downward. Rest all the things are the same. So mathematical expression will not change. In the mathematical expression, directions were not considered. But what is the direction of force in that case? So because of I1, what is the direction of magnetic field at this location of the second wire? Current is upward, the same direction of magnetic field will be inward. Okay, direction of magnetic field will be inward. This is the magnetic field of first. Now the current is downward. So basically, thumb will be towards the current, all this finger towards the magnetic field where the palm face is indicating this side. So this time the force which is acting on the second wire will be this direction. Same goes with here also. Earlier suppose the direction of current is this. So what is the direction of magnetic field at this point? It will be perpendicular inward. Okay, and direction of current is upward. Direction of current is upward, magnetic field inward. What is the direction of force? This direction. So in this case, force will be of mutual repulsive. Force is of mutual repulsive. Okay. So what we can observe that if current are in same direction, then force is attractive. Force is attractive. But when current are in opposite direction, then force is repulsive. Force is repulsive, right? So you have to understand this thing, you have to remember this thing, that when the force, when the current are in same direction, when the current in both the wires are in same direction, then the force is attractive. But when the current are in opposite direction, then the force is repulsive. One more very important definitions come out from here, and you should know, because that definition has been asked in the board examination so many times, and that definition is of 1 ampere. Okay, that definition is of 1 ampere. Let us define that definition also. What we are going to do? We are going to define 1 ampere. Definition of 1 ampere. Definition of 1 ampere. Okay? How will you define this definition of 1 ampere? Just see. What we have seen, if two parallel wires are there, then there is a force per unit length acting. Suppose F dash is equal to force per unit length, and it is equal to mu naught I1 I2 upon 2 pi d. Okay. Now suppose if I1 and I2 both are taken as 1 ampere, d is also taken as 1 meter, then F dash comes out to be, the value of mu naught is 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7 multiplied by 1 upon 2 pi multiplied by 1. Pi will cancel out, 1 to will not be, 2 to the 4. F dash will be 2 into 10 to the power minus 7 Newton per meter. So this is the force per unit length acting on the wires. So from here we defined the value of 1 ampere, the definition of 1 ampere, and how we say that? We say that one ampere is the current which, when flow in two parallel wires separated by 1 meter. Try to understand till here. 1 ampere is the current which, when flow in two parallel wires separated by 1 meter, two parallel straight wires separated by 1 meter in vacuum, then they exert a force of 2 into 10 to the power minus 7 Newton per meter on each other. Okay, this is the definition of 1 ampere. Okay, 1 ampere is the current which, when flow in two parallel straight wires separated by 1 meter in vacuum, then they exert a force of 2 into 10 to the power minus 7 Newton per meter. Newton per meter is very necessary to write, because This force is force per unit length, not exactly the force. Okay, so Newton per meter on each other. So basically this is the definition of 1 ampere, and it has been asked in the board examination several times. So you must remember this definition, okay, in order to prepare the chapter for the board examination, right? So this is the definition of 1 ampere. Now let us move ahead and let us solve a question which is very popular. Okay, and then after, okay, before solving the question, let us understand one more thing, and that thing is torque. Torque acting on a current loop kept in a magnetic field, and then after we'll solve the questions, because questions are asked for the torque and for the force both simultaneously. So let us understand first of all torque also, and then after we'll try to solve some questions. Okay, so next topic is torque on a current carrying rectangular loop. ठीक है, this is the topic. Now let us draw the diagram, because in this topic diagram is very important. Without diagram we cannot prove the things, we cannot do the things, right? So let us draw the diagram. Okay, try to understand. Suppose this is your magnet of North Pole and this is the South Pole, right? Okay, a rectangular coil is kept here in this one. In this manner, okay. Let this coil be A, B, C, D. Now let us write PQRS. Why is it so? Because for B we write magnetic field. So let us not be confused. PQRS, right? How the direction of current is there? Let current I is going in this direction, coming back from this direction. Current is going in this manner, right? Okay, so this is how the rectangular coil is kept. For better understanding, let me tell you, the rectangular coil is not placed and it is looking, okay, and we can see it from there, okay. The coil is kept something like this, something that is not straight, okay, it is like this, a bit tilt, okay. I'll let it be like this, a bit tilt. It is not straight, it is bit tilt. Okay, are you able to understand? Magnetic field is in the straight line. Magnetic field is in the straight line, but this coil is not straight, means its plane is not parallel to magnetic field. Okay, actually it is a bit tilt, right? Now, how the direction of magnetic field is there? As I have told you, the direction of magnetic field is in this direction, from north to south. This is the direction of magnetic field. Okay. What is the direction of force acting on the PQ? The force will be, see, magnetic field in this direction, current is in upward direction, palm face is indicated inward. The force acting on PQ is F1 is equal to I, so current I is flowing. Length of PQ, let it be, length of PQ, let it be L, length of QR, let it small b, okay. So small l into B into sine 90. Value of sine 90 is 1. Value of F1 is equal to ILB. That's it. Equation 1. Okay, and what will be its direction? Its direction is perpendicular inward. Equation number 1. Okay. The force which is acting on PQ is perpendicular inward. Now what is the direction of force acting on the QR? Now here have to understand. If the plane was like this, straight, then its area vector will be in this direction. Current is in this direction, magnetic field is in this direction, the force will be 0. But what is the problem here? The problem is the area is not straight, right? The area is not straight. It is a bit tilt like this. It is like this. Current is flowing in this manner. Current is going this way. And what is the direction of magnetic field? Direction of magnetic field is straight like this. Okay? Are you able to understand? The area is tilt. Area is tilt. So what is the direction of magnetic field? Magnetic field is in this direction. So basically we have an angle between current and magnetic field. Current. Okay? Current. Let me show you like this. Current is going like this. Magnetic field is straight. So basically there is an angle between current and the magnetic field. Okay? And that very angle we have to find out. Suppose the area vector, this is kept like this. Its area vector is perpendicular this direction. Okay? Its area vector is perpendicular outward. So its area vector is in this direction. Its area vector. Okay? Direction of magnetic field is this way. Let this angle be theta. So if this angle is theta, then this angle is going to be 90 minus theta. Obviously. Because this is the area vector, this is the edge. So this is 90 minus theta. And if that is 90 minus theta, then this angle is also going to be 90 minus theta. Then this angle is going to be theta. Are you able to understand? Theta, I am not telling that the angle is between PQ and QR. Okay? Okay, let me make a separate diagram for that. But first of all, just try to understand. Here that direction of area vector is this. So basically this whole angle will be 90 degree. If this angle is theta, then this angle will be 90 minus theta. Okay? Now if you go at the top view, from the top if you are able to see that, then how it will be looking like. This is your Q. This is your R. Current is flowing in this direction, right? Okay. Now, the direction of force, from the top if we see, then the F1 will be inward. So basically, somewhere here, that F1 is there, this force F1. Okay. Let me make like this figure if you are able to understand. Okay. So this angle is theta, this is 90 minus theta, this will be 90 minus theta, so basically this angle will be theta. What is this? This side is I am making over here. Okay, this side I am making over here. This is P, this is R. Okay, this is P, this is R. This angle is theta, this is 90 minus theta, this is also 90 minus theta, so this is basically going to be theta. What theta I am taking between the direction of force on the F1 to the side RS. Okay, let me clarify this. Suppose this is the copy, okay, this is the plane, this is the rectangular coil, it is straight like this. The direction of force on this way in this direction. Towards me, right? You are not able to see this marker towards me. Okay. So what I am doing, I am making a straight line over here. So I am getting a right angle triangle over here. Getting a right angle triangle over here. This right angle triangle. So this right angle triangle, basically I am taking this perpendicular distance. Okay. Perpendicular distance I am taking. Force on this is towards me. Force on this towards yourself. So basically, what is the perpendicular distance between them? If you make a perpendicular over here, so you'll have a right angle triangle. You'll have a right angle triangle over here, and that very right angle triangle I am talking about. Okay. Now force on this one. Force on this one. This current will be this length B can be divided into two components, one along the magnetic field, one perpendicular to the magnetic field. The one which is along the magnetic field, I am talking about this length, QR length. QR can be divided into two components. One is along the magnetic field, one is perpendicular to the magnetic field. The component which is along the magnetic field will experience a zero force, and the component which is perpendicular to the magnetic field, it is towards downward. Okay, this is the component of length. Now, direction of magnetic field is this way, direction of current is this way. Okay, direction of magnetic field is this way, and direction of current will be, it is not looking nice, it is in this direction. It is in this direction. Okay, it is a 3D diagram, that's why it is taking a lot of problem to understand. Just see, this is the way. Now this is the current. Its one component is along the magnetic field, its one component is towards me. Okay, suppose if it is straight, but if it is tilt, then one component is parallel along the magnetic field, one component is towards me. Basically, here also one component will be inward. It cannot be seen, but it is inward. If you are putting your fingers like this towards that component, rest of the fingers towards magnetic field, palm faces downward. So basically on this, force will be acting downward. In the same manner here, and that's why this will not have any effect on the motion of the coil. But here the direction of force is downward, and the magnetic field is this way. So basically here the force is acting, and that force will be towards outward. Okay, this force is F2, and force F2 will be the same. Force F2 will also be the same because length is same, magnetic field is same, and they are making an angle like 90 degree also. What I am trying to tell you is, here the force which is acting, it is F1. Here the force which is acting is downward, and here the force is F2 which is acting perpendicular outward. So what is the perpendicular distance between F1 and F2? This length is B. This and this angle is theta. So basically this length is going to be B sine theta. Okay. Now we have two forces opposite to each other and equal also. So basically they will produce a torque. The torque acting on the coil is given by torque is equal to force multiplied by perpendicular distance. Now what is the force? Force is ILB. And what is the perpendicular distance? It is B sine theta. Torque will be equal to I into L into B, capital B sine theta, or torque can be written as IAB sine theta, where this A is the area of the coil. Okay. Now for n turns, torque vector is equal to NIAB sine theta. This is the formula for torque. Is that clear? Okay. This is a 3D diagram. That's why it took a lot of time. Let me know if you are not able to understand. In the next video lecture we will discuss it again. Okay. So this is all for the day. In the next video lecture we will solve some questions as on the concept of torque and the force. If this torque is not clear, we will discuss it in the next lecture. Okay. This is all for the day. Thank you.